Good morning. It's Feature Friday, and I'm super excited about what we're going to talk about today. I have been working with several, it's really interesting. It's a lot of times when you're a new business owner, you're like soaking up all the things, and you're like, oh, I'm going to do this. How do I do this? How do I do that? And you don't have I don't know, you don't have the overwhelming pride to to not ask questions. You know what I mean? Like there's no question. You're just a sponge. You're soaking it all up. If you throw it out there and someone, says, well, don't you know that? You're like, no, I don't know that. I'm new. Guess what happens after you're not new for a while is you start feeling like, oh, I should know this. Oh, like, and or I if I ask that, people will think I don't know what I'm doing, or I'm an imposter, or like all the things you say in your head, and no one would say those to you, by the way. In fact, when those things go on in your head and you're like, oh, this is how I am, this is how other people see me. I want you to look around this room, and I want you to message one of these people and say, am I really like this? And I am going to guarantee you, like, I don't even like, I would put $1 million on this. They'll be like, what? What the hell? Why would you even think that? Like, no, like, that's not how people see you, because we run like the most ridiculous tape in our head on what we say to ourselves. And so, one of the things that I realized after talking to several people this week who do not have new businesses, that they did not feel comfortable with the concept of a lead magnet. And you're like, oh, how could they not feel comfortable with the concept of lead magnet? Stop right there. Let's talk about it for a minute, because it is very likely it may not be lead magnets for you. It might be something else that at this point you're like, oh my gosh, it's too late to ask. Or that ship has sailed for me. I'm too dumb. Or my business, I do not need that. So let me talk about two big reasons. And like, by the way, like, somebody made up the word lead magnet. So let's just strip away all this stuff and let's talk about, like, why would you want to give something away for your business? So number one is the obvious one, is I feel like it's a micro purchase. Like, it is a thing that you give something free out and they're like, I want that. And the exchange, instead of money, is contact information. So hey, I have a freebie, it's something that you want. If it's not something they want, guess what? They're not going to opt in. They're not going to do the micro purchase, buy with their information. So that's kind of front line. What is something kind of big and wide that you could just be giving away when you're on a podcast, when you're on a video, when you're on your website, when you're on social media? If you're doing like where you could do, I feel like it's almost like a little commercial for yourself. So like, what could you do that, like, if you're not sponsored for the podcast or sponsored for your video, you could say, hey, by the way, I'm sponsored by this freebie. You don't have to say sponsored, but like, thinking about it, like putting in your own little ad for your business. And think about, like, if your ad is something free, that's kind of awesome, because people like free stuff, especially if it solves a problem. So that first thing is really what I would call a list building tool. That first thing, go as big and wide. And guess what? Worst case scenario, everybody hates it, nobody opts in. Then what are you going to do? Oh my God, you're going to go make another one. And let me just mention, because I've been through this a few thousand times, the world does not crumble. There's not big billboards around your town that says Holly Homer's a fraud. Like, you just quietly go do something else and you launch it again, because like, that's what you do. We do that every day. And the faster you fail, the faster you can get the better thing out. So that is one of the reasons why we built PageWheel. And I'm going to be sending out a link to a podcast today in Rachel's email today that talks about one of the reasons why we built PageWheel is because the competition at $200, $300, $400 a month does not allow, and then a build of 10, 12, 15 hours that you may or may have to hire out, it does not allow you to the freedom to fail. You have so much invested in it by that point, and so many months of work and so many dollars tied up, that if that thing fails, that is like a major hit to your business. Guess what? I can get you failing in 20 minutes or less. And you know what? That is so much better for your business because in the time it would take you to put together one big funnel that may or may not be successful, you could fail, I don't know, I'm guessing about 100 times with Pageville. And my money goes on that every single time because my biggest lessons have come out of my most spectacular failures. I mean, the bigger, the better. So what is like fail fast, learn from it, launch fast, fail fast, learn from it. And then guess what? At some point, I mean, just statistics. I'm a math girl. Statistically, something's going to hit. But if you can only launch one thing, that has to be 100% hit rate. If you launch 100 things, 1 out of 100, you can do 1%. And this goes back to when I realized I was sitting in, and some of you have heard this story before, but I was sitting in a ClickFunnels. I was in their 2CCX coaching program, and we're sitting in this big room, and a lot of the training there was just very like super strategic from the top line, and never like the nuts and bolts that I'm always like, don't show me how. And it was Julie Stowen was up there, and she's a really good teacher. She's the one that runs Funnel Gorgeous, for those that you know. She goes, the average funnel converts at 4 to 6%. And I was like, what the hell? like I was feeling like a failure at 90%, 89%, 88%, 87%, 86%. You see the pattern here. So I was calling myself a failure in, I don't know, 75% of the numbers. And the truth is, the average funnel, and she was talking about cold audience funnels, will convert at a 4 to 6% rate. Well, when I went back and looked, guess what? I was successful and I had no idea. So this is the deal, is when you're saying 4 to 6%, and that's kind of worst case scenario, well, what if I launch 100 things and 4 to 6% of them are very successful? What if I put something out into the world, and what if 4 to 6% of your social media goes really well? What if 4 to 6% of your, whatever? What that means is we have to be present to be big enough to get that 4 to 6%, because you can live off 4 to 6%. And I'm saying this as a blogger who gets paid by the number of thousands of people that come to my website. So I know the math works out, and I get paid less than 4 to 6% on 1,000. You know what I mean? So when you think about what you have to do is just gather the data, bring in the customers, bring in the potentials, bring in the community, be present, be out there, because guess what doesn't convert is the non-launch funnel, the funnel that's in your head, the video you do not make, the podcast you do not go on or start, the social media posts that are in a spreadsheet or in PageWheel's copy packs. Those do not convert, and they do not do and then let me just say the second part of that is when you put stuff out on the internet that doesn't hit, algorithms don't show it to anyone. So you're basically failing in front of no one. So stop it. Stop it. And if you are still after this little pep talk are still saying, no, she's not talking to me. I'm talking to all of you, every single one of you. If you still don't think I'm talking to you, then I want you to message one of these other people in here, and you know who they are. And they're going to say, listen to Holly. You're not what you're telling yourself is stupid. And you can use cuss words. This is the one time you can use cuss words in our lives, is to pull someone out of it because it's stupid. Have an intervention. Y'all are amazing. And the fact that not everyone on the internet does not know that is it's your own damn fault because you haven't launched it. Okay. So let me go into what we're going to talk about today after sorry, I'm like, got on my soapbox today. So I'm on fire. All right. So one of the things that we have talked about is using the different types of pages within Page Wheel for different ways. So this one is, and I know we've showed this before, but I wanted to talk about philosophically why you might choose one page over another, because like there's no right or wrong answer. Just like you might need to try more than one lead magnet, you might need to try more than one page at one point. But when you choose pages with intention, when it either fails or succeeds, you have data because you did it intentionally. You said, oh, I did that because X. So the data you get on the other side is a lot more useful. If you're just like, I'm just doing this because Holly put it together and Rachel coded it, then, when you fail, you have a lot less data. Then you're like, okay, I'm putting this here because I actually want this to happen, or I am going to monitor this, or I expect X, Y, Z to happen. That way, when you come back and you're like, why didn't that happen like I expected? You have a conversation, like a legitimate conversation. This goes back to like, there's no crying in baseball. Like if you have come to something with like strategy, even if it's a one sentence strategy, and then you come back and that, something unexpected happened, then you're actually going to look at it not like, oh my God, everybody hates me, I'm just going to go cry. You're going to say, oh, why didn't that work? Like I totally thought that was going to work. So looking at this laboratory that we've set up here. So there is one page within the website here that has a no opt-in. We created that for some people wanted a feature page, meaning that, hey, like I'm Holly Homer, I'm an author, I am a blogger, here's all the links. You could even use it as a link tree type thing. And you can see we've started this one with, I think this is how it begins if you do the no feature.
Wait. Are you talking about this is like a stand store or a link tree?
Yeah, you could totally do that. April.
Okay. How long has this been here? Did I fall asleep?
Well, but like it gets worse because I'm going to show you how you may not even want to use this page. You may want to use the regular page. Okay, so everybody thinks April has a really good business, and you see what she just did there. She just admitted vulnerability and that she didn't know anything. Did anyone judge her for that? No. Okay, so this is why we have to talk to each other. Thank you, April, for proving my point. But
so, I'm like over here going, what the what?
Yeah, so basically, if like, let's say you want to do link in bio for your Instagram channel or something like that, send them right here. Because you could have different, like you could have your different products here. You could have your different like things. Hey, go buy this on Amazon. Hey, like you can go hear my latest podcast, all this kind of stuff. You can create this because it's just adding sections, okay? And let me go back to hey, why don't you guys have a super long form sales letter or a sales page? Well, because, just like your competition. Well, do you know how you get a super long form sales page with our competition? You add and create section after section after section. And then you have to write it and you have to figure out what you want in it. And then you have to make sure you code it properly as far as it interacting with the rest of the world. And in Page Wheel, all you have to do is use the add button. And then you say, okay, like the next section, I think I want a paragraph. Let's do that one. So, and then if the AI like this, if that's crazy, then you're like, let's rewrite it. Just going to rewrite the AI section. Okay. So this is very, very simple. And then you're like, it's still off. I'm going to say, Holly knows better. What should go here? And you're just going to write it. Okay. So this is how you're going to create this. And by the way, you could launch a link in bio today that has 2 points on this page. And then next week, you're like, oh, I thought of something else I want in here. Let me come back and add it. Or, hey, I just did a podcast. Let me go add the link here. You see the point here. This is an ever evolving thing that you could just bring in. I would put it into a folder. This is the one time I'd use a folder so that when you're like, oh, I have a really good idea, add to that, you can do that. Now, this feature is a no opt-in. So this feature page is basically a standalone website. You're not going to be using the delivery page or the delivery mail, because if you think about it, there's no way for them to get there because there's no opt-in. So this is basically a standalone website page with a URL that you can share. If you use the custom domains, you could even create it as your .com or .net or .io or whatever the main one is if you want to. So that's there. But if you're putting it link in bio and all these other places, you don't necessarily have to do that. They're going to be clicking through, so it doesn't have to be a really pretty link. So this is all how this can go in a way that makes it a lot easier for you. But then I challenge you, why don't you want an opt-in on your landing page? Like that, what a missed opportunity. If you're doing link in bio on something, why don't you make a feature page that has a really juicy freebie so that you can get them on your email list and talk to them again? So while we call this feature page no opt-in, why don't we just use the digital product page? If you don't want it to look like a digital product page, or if you want to put that information lower, then all you're going to do is add sections above it for those featured items. Say, okay, here's where you can buy my book. Here's where you can go to my blog. Here's where you can buy my product. And oh, by the way, do you want this lovely freebie? Opt in below. So while we have said, hey, traditionally the world has used a link in bio feature page that does not have an opt-in, I'm challenging you, maybe the world's wrong on this. And why don't we just go back to what's been working really well in PageWheel and just modify it so it looks more like what you want it to look, or more like a traditional thing. But let me just mention to you, when someone clicks on link in bio on your Instagram, they're not like, oh, I can't wait to get to that link tree. Or, oh gosh, if she doesn't have the perfect, list of links like everybody else on Instagram, then I'm just not even going to follow her anymore. They have no preconceptions. They don't even know what that is. You're the one that knows what that is. And by the way, you only know that because somebody really marketed it well. And it solved a problem for a lot of people in a way that people understood. But this actually solves your problem even better than that solution. So just think about what you want to do there. It's also, you could also put a paid product on here. And just if you're, like, let's say you have a paid product that you want to put on this feature page that you put a bunch of other stuff on. Why don't you, copy that funnel, keep the original. With the new one, you're going to add a whole kind of website, link tree, all that kind of stuff above it. And then just say, hey, by the way, do you want my product? And here it is. Like, stop thinking that there's rules on the internet. You do know that, like, we made the rules. Like in the last 20 years, those of us on the internet made the rules.
So I'm over here, and I think a lot of people are just, well, maybe, never mind. It's probably just me. But
I'm sure it is.
I'm thinking a lot now. I'm going, okay, wait, I actually know how to go now into aprilbrum.com/ and then put a keyword and then tell it to redirect something. Like, I just did that with my bingo card, aprilbrum.com/ bingo now. It goes straight to the bingo card, which for some reason has made a whole lot of people happy. I don't know.
because you solved a problem.
Yeah. Well, I solved my problem. And then I was like, hey, you want this?
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm thinking now, though, that we can create all these little things and then not have to stress over creating a blog post in our page. We can just go in aprilbum.com/whatever.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay.
So like
So
the
for me, I don't think I really need the custom domain thing, right?
okay, and let's just talk about the custom domain thing. Okay. It's very fancy. But and it's lovely to have and it makes you feel really good inside. But for the most part, people don't give a damn if you have like something like on a specific URL, especially these days with redirects and all this stuff and bit.lys and all that. And a lot of times they're hitting a button and they're not even seeing a URL. So we of course want the custom domains and we launched them and they're now working. Yay. Um, but the truth is, for most of you, like your customers couldn't care less. Like if you are working within a warm audience and then they're going to something that has your face on it and your voice on it, they're not going to be like, oh gosh, I think this is a spammer impersonating April today. It's not even in their brain. Okay. They're like, oh, yeah, April sent me over here from a direct message or from an email, and here I see April. It's consistency that they're looking for. If you're working in a cold audience, like if you're doing Facebook ads to cold audience and they don't know who you are, I think that's where there's a percentage of people that might look at the URL to kind of verify. If you're sending out spammy emails, maybe you want to make sure that you have a URL. That's one time I look at the URL if I get a spam email. But you're like, if you are stopping launching something because you haven't figured out the custom URL, the custom domains yet, stop it and talk to one of these people in this room and say, am I important enough that my people will not click through to something if I don't have my name on a URL? Kim.
Nobody looks at the URLs to start with. And we've already been launching stuff without it. The custom domain just popped up like what, a week ago?
Yeah.
And we love it. I'm happy to have it. I really think it's a
Yeah.
great value add for sure, right? And it's
Mhm.
going to do a lot for me. But I haven't waited to do things because I've been waiting for that. I've been doing stuff in spite of that and thinking when that comes, this will be even better.
Yeah, and by the way, you launch your custom domain today, then all of the products you've done in PageWheel all automatically have your new like hollyhomer.com backslash blah 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 blah
Yeah.
is what those are. And then you're like, oh, but I have all those links out there. No, behind the scenes, we're keeping all those planner pack URLs. So all of those things you already have in emails, social media, those still will work. It's just you have that extra layer of the vanity URL.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and by the way, when you make a product tomorrow and have your vanity URL, we maintain that behind the scenes, super secret planner pack URL so that if you change your mind in 6 weeks and say, I want to change the URL, we can still keep people going to those. Now, if you say, today my URL is hollyhomer.com and tomorrow it's hollyreneehomer.com, you're going to not get redirection on that one that you put in that you took away. Okay. Because we just can't control that. We know you
No.
change your mind a lot. We can't keep up with you. But the original planner pack and whatever your current one is, those will be good.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. You will not have to fix all the links. No, we are
They
bloggers.
wouldn't do that to us.
No, I shouldn't. I'm just leaning toward not worrying about the custom URL at this point
Don't.
because I can easily go into aprilbrum.com/keyword
And just redirect them.
and then just say this is it and it goes straight to the thing and I don't even have to do anything.
Why make your life complicated for
Amen.
tech space, for
Yes.
tech's sake? So for instance, the URL that you all came into this Zoom call today is a redirection that is a plugin in our Learn site. Okay. Like that's easier for me than setting this up on, pagewheel.com/Zoom. So that's what we're doing. Is it optimal? Does it sometimes malfunction? Yes, but it's what I can handle right now. It is okay to run your business on what you can handle right now because we do not have a full staff. Like, we are not Microsoft. We are not Apple. So we are choosing our own adventure, and sometimes we are making it harder on ourselves just to make it harder on ourselves, and that's silly. Like, because your customers do not care. Like, they are here for you and your connection and the problems that you can solve for them. Actually, they're in it for themselves because they're connected to you and you're solving their problems. So yeah, one woman show. I mean, I'm very close to that. And I run 2 companies. So, like give yourself a break. Like every once in a while, give myself a break. put it on your to-do list. Give yourself a break today.
I think we got
McDonald's will do
why
it.
we started these things was because we wanted a business that fit our life, not a life that fit our business, right?
Yes, exactly.
But
And then if
it
you're
does
like,
tend to take over.
so you treat your own employees better than you treat yourself. And sometimes you need to stop yourself and treat yourself like you would treat your employee. If you're like, no, my life is falling apart today. I need to go, take the dog to bed. I need to go take a walk. I need to go get some fresh air. I need to go grab, a cocktail with a friend. Totally illegal. Put your put your business on hold for 2 hours, 5 hours, 24 hours. And it will not fall apart. In fact, when you come back to it, you're going to be in a much better space. So do that. This has just been a sermon by Holly today. Maybe this week has been harder than I thought. Oh my goodness. All right. Any question? Oh, I did want to say in fact, I'm going to show you what this is going to look like. They will be launching this today, I hope, which will make your life a lot easier. Just a second. Talk amongst yourselves for just a second while I grab this. And this is going to make it easier to make any page a feature page, no matter what you choose. All right, here it is. Oh, I think I just saw the word malarkey on this page. So I know that's a favorite. Oh my God.
When I went to Ireland to visit my friend a couple of months ago.
Malarkey.
There's actually a bar called Malarkey.
All right. So what is going to be changing, and you'll see this later today. I'm in our development platform. When you click on the link, it's going to say link to the next step. So like, for instance, in this case, this would be linking, this is on the offer page. It would be taking them down to the sign in thing. Or you can say, no, for this, I want to use it as sending them to a podcast. My podcast is great.com. We'll see if, that's online. So that you can change the button, where the button goes. Now, just remember, if you're on the delivery page, you want to keep one of those buttons as the actual, like the next step, which is the delivery. Okay. If you change all of the buttons, then you're going to have to figure out how to deliver that, which, by the way, is totally doable. Just go to the little link box, get the PDF download link, and go back and reprogram one of those buttons as that download link. So all is not lost if that happens. I've talked many of you through that. It's actually a quick fix. But just remember that this had a reason for that next step, but you can overwrite it now if you have a better reason. But have that conversation before you just overwrite all your buttons. So that should be later today. So watch for that on .com. All right. Anything else? Tanya.
Can you pull that page back up and let me ask a question from there?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, so I think my first question before I go to this is anybody still using, like when you're on the dashboard, you've got the options of the links to go to. Is anybody starting from the web page option? Or are they going here and using the drop down from where you were showing a while ago, the digital product, the community, the
Yes.
opt-in?
So let's talk about that. I'm going to go back to, and this is you may see things that are a little bit different because this is the testing platform, not my .com that like you guys have. So when you get to this page, what I want you to think about is, do you want a download? If you want a download, then you're going to go through the product builder. If you're not going to make a download, then you're going to just go straight to the web page. Okay? Because the web page builder, you're going to basically, it skips the download. And because remember with the download, when you're making a book or a planner or a workbook or whatever, we know what you made because you made it in there. And so that's why we can make the website and delivery page and all that kind of stuff. When you're saying, no, I don't want to download, you're going to start in the middle, build a web page. You're going to say, this is what I'm selling, because so far we don't know because you didn't make a download. And then you'll have that same ability to change the sales page just like you do with the download options.
Okay, so, well, right there. So you have only one price. So, the other day I talked about having two prices. How do you get it to do two prices?
So I'll tell you a dirty little secret. I could put $12 in here and I don't even think it shows up anywhere. So let's do a test here. Let's try it. You know me, I always like to try things in front of an audience. This is how I fail fast. It's so much faster to fail in front of y'all.
I have failed miserably since Wednesday.
Then you get a prize.
I am like, what the heck? This is so not working for me. What have I missed? Or what videos do I go back to? And I thought I'll just show up Friday and show everybody I have forgotten.
Well, this is the development platform, so we may not get, it does not have all the features that y'all have either. That's the other thing that we have.
Holly, while you're waiting on that, can you or send it later or maybe put it in the agency school? I need the link, the direct link to, because remember when people did the business level, this is a while back, they got 100 Perfect People for free, or they got one of Rachel's courses for free. And I can't find the direct link to that without logging into Makers.
Okay. Just if anybody has I can't find something, just message me through live chat. Because I have a list of her stuff that I can look for it.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Yeah. And this may be, I have so many tabs open. Let me go back and cancel. Yeah, it's even telling me.
Okay, so I want to jump in here and say something that I just now figured out. When I go there and do a product and add my PDF, that's when I have to go to the delivery page and put in I have to go back and get the link and go to the delivery page and put in my links for my delivery product because it's not showing up because PageWheel didn't create the product.
Yeah, so if you created the product in PageWheel, on the delivery page, the first two buttons deliver that link. But that also counts if you uploaded it into PageWheel. But if you have a product that is a download that you have in Dropbox or Google Drive or one of the, Amazon Web Server, then you have a link, a download link that you could add to a button somewhere else.
But I uploaded it as a PDF too.
Then it will have a link. The first two buttons will deliver that product.
but I haven't been, but I've had to go back and add them.
Then you need to send me a message when that happens, because that should absolutely never happen.
Okay, I'll have to pay
Yeah.
attention.
If you come across a page that is happening, please let me know immediately, because I need to make sure that that's fixed for everyone. That's a pretty
Okay, because I thought that
Yeah.
was why that was happening now.
Nope. It should work. Okay,
Okay.
so you see, Tanya, I put $12, and so that the $12 comes here, but
Right.
I could still overwrite it. That's just like that's kind of your draft.
Okay.
So you could say, no, I want to pay, I want this, or we could go down here and say, let's add an upsell or something like that.
Okay.
And then,
Okay. Before you
yeah. And then also
don't get out of that yet.
Yeah, no. This defaulted into digital product, which is kind of strange. I think it's supposed to default into product. But you can still just change it. Like, okay, let's e-commerce product or whatever. And it'll just
It always
rewrite it.
defaults to digital product for me when I try that. And I've
Yeah,
done a lot.
I think that one is supposed to default to one of the other things. But I'll mention that to Rachel. The other thing I'll show you real quick.
Yeah, I have another question for you.
Go for it, Tanya. Go for it.
Okay. So while that's spinning, but do you see the top skinny bar there, the headline, and it's got right there where it says experience seamless connectivity.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's say I want to hide that bar.
Mm-hmm.
And then, okay, the transform your space without our amazing product. If I want that to be all one line, how do I do that?
Then you're just going to have to make sure it's that it's short enough. Or you could play with the size of it too. Let's see.
So there's no way if it's a little bit long. So that is space constricted.
It is. And the reason for that is you're going to need the reason for that, Tanya, is even though you have it on one line, browsers are all different. The phones are different. So it might look like it to you, but it's not going to always be that way. And so that's why there's a word for it. But anyway, whatever that person is looking at it on, it's going to be kind of spaced properly because of the way that we do it. So if you want it short and on one line, I would say probably most of the things it would be on one line, because I made the text a little bit smaller and put it on one line. But you might find a browser, and I get screenshots all the time through the live chat where people are like, this looks totally different. And it does. It looks totally different because they're on an iPhone from 1942, and not quite, but and they're just like, they're on Safari, they're on these other things. So do the best you can with what you have, with what you want in your head, but just know that it's not always going to look like that. And that's why we're restrictive, is because our goal is just you set it up the way you want it to look, but then if it doesn't look like that, it'll still look decent.
Okay.
And then I want to show you this. Let's just upload a photo here.
Do you think we'll ever have the capability to change the font size from just the upward and the downward font?
Yeah, yes, I do. And they're trying to do that. Let me find something here real quick. Yes and no. We'll have more ability, like we're launching more of like what they call Google Fonts suite into Pagewell. So you've seen a lot of italics, all that kind of stuff that's come in, just bullet points. Those things have come in just the last few months. But when you come to font size with like, oh, I want a 14 point font or a 17-point font or something like that, that's a little iffy. We're hoping to get there. I just don't know that we'll get there within the next month or two. That may be like version 3.
Okay, one more question. Can you
Mhm.
show me where I can do the side-by-side box
Yeah.
for plans for like 2 plans?
So you can do the side-by-side box with the 2-pay beta. Although if you do that, you can't go back because we still don't have an undo on that. Okay.
Okay.
So that's where you do the side-by-side box. If you want to do the upsell that has the VIP offer, that is also a side-by-side.
Okay.
So let's just so that's also a
Okay.
side-by-side.
Okay.
Now, these buttons, I don't think you're going to be able to override these buttons, whether the 2-pay, which is the monthly versus yearly, is the 2-pay, because those are both subscription. And then this is just the 2 prices. So that, but you'd be able to change the prices and that kind of stuff with that.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Sure, sure. And then I wanted to show you this. So this, now we have the ability to make the picture photos different sizes and stuff like that. And that looks kind of wonky. But then if you go in there and then you change let's find where my thing is here. Let's change the background color here. It's going to fill it in and make it a little bit more complete. So if you, what I like about that is we now, because before we had a real problem with if the picture like kind of fell out of the section, it looked kind of like unfinished. And now you can have those pictures fall out of those sections and just coordinate it with the background colors. So that's kind of fun. Right. And we need a failing contest. I love this. Fail fast. Are any of you marketing page build for people's Amazon's affiliate links? The terms of service are fine as long as you're not saying that you're selling the product on that, that you're just referring them.
Well, and you would have to list that particular URL in your, you know how you have to list your websites where all of your stuff appears inside of your Amazon Associates
Yeah.
Central.
You might want to, that is a use case for a custom domain, because then you could just put anything that is on, you know, hollysfavoritepicks.com. And so that any of those links, they'd count that.
Oh, that's true. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So
yeah,
that's
so somebody was doing I'm thinking about some of these people that are influencers that, you know, live off Linktree because they're wanting everybody to buy all their crap off Linktree, that we could actually market this to them to say, this is a better way to do it. You can get, that way you're getting their email addresses.
Right. Yeah. And I almost think I would probably not just go in and do the Amazon products. I would probably do more of a feature page, Linktree like page that has an opt-in that says, hey, I did this product or I did this product. The other thing you remember, you could be embedding a bunch of videos. So if they have those videos on YouTube, like if they're like, hey, I did the review for this X, Y, or Z, you could put the embedded, and you could even make it a small video so that people, when they see it, you know, would say, oh, that's what she's talking about. And then put the affiliate link in a button or in a hyperlink.
Like for me, I was thinking about marketing this to other people. Oh, you're right. I could totally make a aprilbrum.com/favorites page.
Yes.
And then put all of my favorite Amazon bestsellers on that.
Tools, those of you who
every time I show up, you make me do things.
I need you to fail fast. Get going, girl. Get going. But yeah, those of you who any part of business is going to have some tools. One of your affiliate links, for instance, could be Pageville. Shocker. So like thinking about like what people might need, what people ask, what questions people ask you all the time. Just make a frequently asked questions page, and just if you want a video, you want a image, you want a link, you want a button, like it doesn't matter. Again, stop thinking it has to look a certain way. And just look at, what do I need? What does someone need? What would be helpful to someone? That. Yeah, I didn't launch on Friday, but she gives a zillion ideas for us to try.
So if we had a favorites page like that, though, then we would go through and how do we make sure and get their email addresses before it sends them to Amazon?
Well, okay, let's talk about this. Why do you really want to gate making money with making them give you their email address?
Oh, that's true.
I mean, like, they're going to give you $7 affiliate commission, or they're going to give you an email address. I'd take the $7.
Amazon doesn't pay $7. They pay 7
Well,
cents.
I mean, let's say they got the big screen TV that's been in their wish list for 20 years. So,
unless they bought a car, then you might get $5.
Man, I remember the days that $7 was a commission at Amazon. It was fantastic.
Not anymore. No. And that's why when somebody was saying the other day, they were like, oh, shop my Amazon list. And then she messaged me and she was like, what are your best like tips for earning on Amazon? And I'm like, find something other than Amazon to make money.
I'm doing Walmart, April.
Oh, Walmart's good.
Yeah. I made $1,200 in commission this month. I hit $45,000 in sales, which gave me a $1,600 bonus.
What? Oh yeah, that's way better than Amazon.
Yeah. Well, Walmart's been really, really good for affiliates, and so a lot of us has been switching from Amazon to
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. And I think it's partially because their cookie is significant. KJ, isn't their cookie like 30 days?
I don't even know what a cookie is. You're asking the wrong person.
So Amazon's cookie, meaning
KJ's like, I teach no cookies.
I'm still trying to figure out the domain, and we've been talking about that for
don't worry about it.
KJ makes healthy cookies.
They could buy anything for 30 days. It doesn't even have to be your product. Like if they click the link that you put, then whatever they buy, you get a commission for.
Yeah. So basically, in my world, I sell a lot of scissors, which is about 2 cents commission on Amazon. But they don't just buy scissors. They end up buying a whole bunch of other stuff. They buy their swimming suit, and they buy their big screen TV, and they buy a blender. And then I have, $6 commission. But Amazon only allows, it's a 24-hour cookie, where meaning like anything that you put in your cart and buy after you click on my link for 24 hours is attributed to me. Whereas I think Walmart's is 30, it might even be 45 days.
Maybe if Amazon senses that you know the person.
Yeah, they won't, yeah.
Well,
you have to remember too, Amazon knows all, just like Google knows all. I mean, they know your deepest, darkest secrets, and they're going to use it against you. So stop thinking that you are just going to go like play this game, because they got all that data so they could screw you. That's the internet. You do understand the internet. The internet says, hey, come to this fun platform for free, and we're going to
you signed up for said screwing. Yes.
And then after you had some fun and, some giggles, they screw you with the data they just got you. So just be aware of that. Like, if you know the game, you play the game, know the rules of the game. So you go to these platforms, you do what you want to do, but just understand that at some point they're going to screw you with the data that they got from you. Just be aware. But
it's 3 days. Walmart, I just looked.
Oh, 3 days?
72 hours.
Okay. Which is, 3 days way better than 24 hours. Walmart knows less about you than Amazon. So there you go.
For now.
for now.
They're learning a lot about me right now.
Which hence the 3 days, because once everybody's over on Walmart, then will be 2 days, and it'll be 1 day, and then they'll be screwing us too. Hence my story. So, oh, I should need to try Walmart. Yeah, you know what? The really crazy thing is I have been turned down for so many affiliate things lately. Like, and that has never happened to me in my life because I'm Holly Homer. But
I was going to say, how many followers do they want? 4 million?
I've written letters saying, literally, I don't even understand how you cannot want me, but they'll say no. So, but that doesn't stop me from trying. Full circle, 4 to 6%. Like, all you need is 4 to 6%. You can make a living on failing 96% of the time.
Yeah.
So there you go.
I probably can achieve that.
Yeah. So I have to get turned down another 80 times before I get it. So I know who wouldn't want me? It's so wrong. And now I'm just pissy about it. Like, I have a really good story about my indoor garden that I absolutely obsess and I love, but they want these fancy Instagram people. Like, literally the Instagram influencers that are promoting this product. It is this husband and wife that don't even look real, that are in front of this garden thing, and she's feeding him. Like, and they're
I've
like
seen that.
laughing. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, nobody lives that life. Like, nobody. No, like I've been married for 33 years. I really like my husband. I think he's cute. But at no point were we like playfully in front of the garden and I was feeding him. So weird. So
Well,
that's why
if
they
you
won't
really
let me.
want to be successful, maybe you should.
I know. Well, I was thinking I could do a whole like series of like recreating their stupid ones and putting it up just for my own information, but maybe I'll never get on their affiliate program then. But like, yeah, like, I don't know, that I was just like, oh my God, what's wrong with these people? Like, it's a really good product. Why do they have to be so dumb about the promotion of it?
Are you talking about like one of the things where you put the pods in and it grows leaves?
Yeah, so I have I can send you a discount coupon that gives me money off of my thing, but I can't send you an affiliate link. But it's the garden. It like has 3 with a Y, and it has 30 plants in it, and I'm like have no ability to grow anything, and I literally eat off of my garden 3 times a day.
Really?
It's amazing.
I looked at them. They look really.
It's no
Is that
mess.
the one that Juice Plus sells, or is it something different?
It's the one. It's garden with a Y, GARDYN. But if you do buy it, call me first. I'll send you at least my discount link so that I can show them that they are missing out.
My husband just goes, "You're not buying that." Is it like pods that you buy? You have to buy the seeds?
And although it's a subscription service, just like everything else. So like they'll send you like 10 plants a month, and they're just like in like little cartridges that you stick in. But like literally, it's mess free. It's like it actually works. The watering, the light, and all that is all involved. And I just set it up and grow stuff. And it's crazy. Like, I just made stuff. I have fresh cabbage. I have fresh lettuce.
I mean, I can kill things quicker.
Oh, me too. I have no
most.
plant. I have one plant in my life, and it's up there. But like this, I have like, no, my whole family was like laughing. I mean, the whole thing is, oh, mom's doing something stupid. And then they're like, this turned out way better than we all expected. I'm like, me too.
I've always wanted a garden, but I know it's just a huge investment.
Oh, me too. But I don't like the heat, the bugs, the humidity, and the outside.
There's no heat.
I don't really like
Don't
vegetables
use it as
that
a
much.
garden. It's more therapy than a garden.
Yeah. Well, and so I've gotten to the point where I only grow now, like I did cucumbers and I got like 4. That was stupid. But but I do a lot of lettuce. I do a lot of spinach. I do a lot of chard and like things that you can like put in a salad and stuff like that. My tomatoes are actually coming out. They're just slow for me. I'm like more of an instant gratification girl. And
We're gonna need to see this on your IG stories.
well, I'm not ever putting them online because they suck and won't give me an affiliate link, but I'll show you. I have tons of pictures. No, like I am so bitter. I mean, like they will never get anything from me until
I'm
they.
gonna send them a note and say, I would have bought this, but you won't give Holly a link.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
You should all do that.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah,
Oh, it's
I know.
pretty too.
It's so pretty. It's really modern looking because my whole kitchen is like really modern and white. And it's
Interesting.
almost like a piece of art. I know your husband's gonna be really mad at me.
Mine is very modern and white too, but the dirty dishes keep it from looking
Well, you could just put this in front of the dirty dishes. But yeah, like oh yeah, here's the cucumbers that I grew. They're mini cucumbers, but the ones that are really good is the lettuce. Like the lettuce, it just keeps growing, and you harvest up to 2/3 of the plant, and then it will just keep growing. And I'll have lettuce coming off of a lettuce plant for 4 months. It's crazy. It's way better tasting than because I'm not even a salad girl, but it's really good. All right. I guess I should stop this and we should go work. But just FYI, next Friday is 4th of July in the United States, so we will not be meeting, but we'll have the regular stuff on Monday and then the agency school on Wednesday. I will be around over this weekend. If you have any issues, anything that you're like, this should be working on PageWheel, please message me through the live chat. Because if it's not working for you, it's likely not working for someone else. And we always want to make sure that we have, the bugs out, and we're getting to the point where a lot of this stuff is more stable. So thank you all. Have an amazing day. Bye.